Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to be talking about the basic attention token, and which is the native token of the Brave browser. So we're going to be looking at this somewhat from a fundamental viewpoint, as well as looking at some of the price history of the token. So if you're not familiar with Brave, it is a browser that offers you the ability to browse without seeing tons and tons of ads. If you choose to, you can choose to view ads and get compensated for it. And it also is, it protects your privacy. Does not, it's not sending out your information to third-party vendors or anything like that. So anyways, that's the topic of the video for today. If you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel. And if you wanted to talk about this, then check out the Telegram channel in the description below. So again, Brave browser, it was created by the guy I think he used to be at Mozilla. He started Brave, and then ever since then they've been building out this browser for several years now and developing their own ecosystem. And you can see the growth over time. You can see just the last several, basically since not this past December, but the December before it. You can see that it is actually growing quite rapidly, and this is the number of verified creators, so not users. So one of the things that Brave offers, in addition to rewarding people for viewing ads, is it also enables creators, content creators, to get tipped from their fans. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I stumbled upon this a year or two ago. And I thought it was really cool that people can tip you, and they don't actually have to automatically, or they can set up an automatic way to tip people based on how much time that based on what videos they're watching, what channels they're on, what websites they're spending most of their time on. You can also turn that off. You can make it manual as well. But it's really nice, and I find that it's a good way to try to get people who are not in crypto. You can get them interested in it because you can tell them, hey, I'm going to tip you. Just you need to download the Brave browser, and then you can claim your tips. So to give you an insight into what this looks like, I just want to show you what my dashboard looks like. So if you manage a website, if you have a YouTube channel, if you do anything like that, then you can submit your site. You can get Brave verified, and then you can then receive tips. So for instance, I have several of these set up to receive tips, but the primary one that I actually receive tips on is my YouTube channel, and I've never really advertised this before. I just noticed that once I became Brave verified, I started getting tips, and you can see that for this month I got around 194 BAT tokens, which is equivalent to around 0.2 ETH, or ETH, sorry, 0.2 ETH, 0.2 Ethereum. And you can actually then I guess you can then go to Uphold, which is where you can then verify your identity and remove the token. So I know some people aren't going to like that aspect of it, and I'm giving you more or less an unfiltered review. To actually withdraw your tokens, you will need to go to Uphold and then do KYC, and then you can from that point you can withdraw your tokens. If you prefer to get paid in a currency other than the basic attention token, you can do that as well. You can just go here to change. You can pick from a number of different cryptocurrencies and how you want to get paid out your rewards. So I'm not saying this for you to tip me, quite the contrary. Keep those tips to yourself. And in fact, I think it'd be a good idea to maybe go out to some of the people that some of the content creators that are, say, not doing crypto stuff. Like maybe they're running some niche website for something that you're interested in. And then you can tell them, hey, I'm gonna tip you some cryptocurrency. Can you check out this browser, and then you can start receiving tips. And this is a really good way for people to receive tips for the value they produce to society. Because if someone's creating content, whether it's art or music or whatever it might be, and you find value in that and want to show them support, well, it can sometimes be hard to make sure they get your tip. Well, this browser makes it incredibly easy all you have to do is you just go up here to this icon, and then you can send someone a tip. So it's very simple and straightforward. Now, they have this transparency data site, which is pretty cool because you can see how many people have been verified um, over time, but you can see the combined growth over time and then see how many people are currently verified with, say, YouTube or various websites, Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, and so on and so forth. Another interesting thing is you can see recent Brave initiated BAT purchases. So this is basically they're going and they're buying back tokens from the advertisers, and this is I think this is probably due to the fact that there's a lot more people wanting to advertise. So they're buying back some of the tokens, and then they're gonna basically then the ecosystem is going to continue. You have more advertisers that come in, they purchase tokens with fiat or whatever it might be, and then those tokens then are distributed to people who actually watch those ads. Now the actual person promoting the ad doesn't have to deal with the cryptocurrency. It's not like they have to fully understand crypto. They can just view things in terms of, say, the money they're putting in and the money they're taking out. But it's all on the back end. I believe it can be done with the basic attention token, and then those can be converted into other cryptocurrencies depending on what the user wants. So here you can see, for instance, this recent purchase on March 30th, which was for 504,000 tokens. And you can follow that link and it'll show that they actually purchased these tokens for almost $75,000. So this was a recent purchase. So you can imagine this ecosystem that's developing. Advertisers come in, they buy ads, and then that money can then be converted to the basic attention token, and then those tokens are then sent out to the people that are engaging with those ads, and then those people who are engaging with ads who are using the Brave browser can then either withdraw that money to their bank account, or they can use that money to tip their favorite creators, and those creators can then maybe tip their own favorite creators, or they can withdraw it. And then the cycle continues. So it's a pretty interesting ecosystem, and I think it provides a level of utility that's not seen in a lot of other tokens. There are a lot of tokens out there that exist that might have cool tokenomics, they might have cool ideas or great teams, but at the end of the day, the demand for the token, other than just for the fact that, hey, it's a cool token, might just not be there. And I think in the long run, a lot of tokens are going to be filtered out of cryptocurrency based on what utility they actually provide, because at the end of the day, the market cannot sustain 5,000 different cryptocurrencies. It just can't. And I think there's going to be certain ones that went out. If you go back in time and look at cryptocurrencies that peaked in 2013, there were many that did not come close to the peak they had in 2013 and 2017. There were some currencies that went much higher than they did in 2013. In 2017, they went much higher. There are tokens that they have their heyday, and then they die. And a lot of people will continue pouring money into these tokens because they believe they have to hit their all-time high if Bitcoin goes on another bull run. Well, that's not the case. I think utility is one of the key indicators, and I do think that the Brave token does have some utility here, the basic attention token. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just my review. One of the things that you'll see with reviews like this is that, by the way, this is not paid for by the Brave team. And one of the issues I find a lot with reviews is that someone will have a referral link in the video, which automatically, it makes the review biased, because at the end of the day, they want you to go download it so that they can, through their referral link, so that they can get paid. Well, I purposely don't promote my referral link, which is, you can see the evidence for it here, 0 confirmed, 0 installed, 0 downloaded. I'm not promoting my referral link. That's not what this is about. It's just to give you an honest review of the token and of the ecosystem. So we're going to get to price in a minute. The last thing, I do want to talk about some of the things that I've experienced. I was going to make this video a few months ago, but for full transparency, the tokens were suspended. The payout was suspended, and that concerned me some. And fortunately, though, I reached out on Reddit, and when it happened twice actually. I think in maybe January and February, And within 24, or sorry, just within like 1 or 2 hours of me posting on Reddit about this bug that had happened, they had already fixed it. So while there are bugs, and you'll see bugs, it does seem like the team is somewhat responsive, or very responsive, in continuing to make the experience better. And also, I think they do a good job of protecting user data. And then also, even for people that are watching ads, they're not blowing your page up with, say, 10 ads. It's just a small number of ads that you can get paid for. But it's a good way to potentially, get some extra money for whatever it might be, and you can go that route. I think one of the downsides is I'm not. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't been able to find a Telegram channel that allows users to talk to each other. I found a Telegram channel where they have announcements, but I haven't really been able to find one that will let me talk to a lot of other people that are interested in the token. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe one exists. If it does, I'll link it in the description, or link it in the comments below, and I'll join it. But with that said, if you would like to discuss this kind of stuff, you can also check out my Telegram channel, which is in the description below. So the last thing we're going to talk about is the price. So here I want to just briefly go through a few different things. So this is the price of the basic attention token versus time. You can see it's varies from 10 cents more or less to almost $1 at the peak in 2017. And since then, it hasn't, it's basically oscillated within this window that you see. If we were to draw a line where we currently are, you can see that the amount of time we have spent, and I actually drew it a little bit higher than we currently are, but you can see that the amount of time spent below this line has been relatively little. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't drop much further down, and in fact, if Bitcoin were to drop significantly, then I imagine the basic attention token would as well. But I'm just pointing out the historical pattern of seeing it below this level. It doesn't typically stay below that level for very long. And you can see that this kind of region up here, maybe between 30 cents to 40 cents, seems to be more of a resistance area. If we were to continue on, this is what it looks like with respect to Bitcoin. It looks very similar. You can see at the bottom the price where we currently are. It has not spent a significant amount of time below it. It might dip down, but it doesn't spend a significant amount of time. And here they are both on the same graph. So the price of the basic attention token is here on the left, and then its ratio with respect to Bitcoin is on the right. So one of the things I want to draw your attention to is this. So, could we see this dip below? And, I can't really say for sure, because I think a lot of times short-term movements in the crypto markets are irrational. But typically, if you follow this channel, we talk about how the 20-week moving average is a good indicator for a bull market. Sorry about that. So it's typically a good indicator for a bull market, the 20-week moving average. And if you note, when we are above the 20-week, altcoins do well. When we're below the 20-week, they don't. And if we were to look just quickly at the BLX, and you can see where basically how the 20-week holds up over a long period of time, and how it performs during bull markets and bear markets. Let me just pull this up really quick so you can see. So we're going to go to, and some people have asked me how to look at moving averages. This is a pretty generic way. Just go to moving average, go to settings, and then you can go into inputs, change the length, 20 weeks. So we'll change this to a log scale. So typically in a bull market, we see the 20-week hold as support, and then in a bear market, it's resistance. We failed to hold it as support here, and when we fail to hold it, we typically drop significantly. And when we're below the 20-week, which is what happened earlier in March, around this time frame here, we've said that Bitcoin dominance tends to go up. And you can see here is an example where the 20-week was broken, and then Bitcoin dominance has gone up. So if we were to go back to the graph, as long as Bitcoin is below the 20-week, I'm still more or less expecting the Bitcoin dominance to go up. Now, I mean, clearly that doesn't happen with all cryptocurrencies. Some will outperform Bitcoin, but for the most part, the dominance will go up until at least Bitcoin hits the 20-week moving average. And if that were the case, and if that trend held with a basic attention token, then you might see the ratio dip below this again. Doesn't mean that the price has to go down, but you might see it dip below again, just as the price of Bitcoin is going up to back to the 20-week, which I believe is around $7,800. So we might not see the price go down, but we might see the ratio go down with respect to Bitcoin. Now, again, this is all dependent on Bitcoin not dropping significantly. I mean, if Bitcoin were to drop back to the 200-week moving average at around $5,500, $5,600, or if it were to drop to even the 300-week moving average, which is around $3,800, then of course we would expect the basic attention token to drop commensurate with it. It might even drop, the percent drop might even be worse than Bitcoin. But this is just a general macro level view of the basic attention token over time. And if you can imagine a scenario where Bitcoin is going to the 20-week moving average and getting above it, then I imagine that the basic attention token will start to see a move back up into the 30 to 40 cents regime, over the next several months. If Bitcoin drops down back to the 200-week, then we would also expect the basic attention token to spend a lot more time below this line. So that's just to give you a brief idea of where I think things stand. So I do appreciate people who follow the channel. I hope I was able to cover more or less what the basic attention token is, what the Brave browser can do, the privacy it provides, the fact that you can reward content creators. Don't reward me. Go reward people that aren't really in crypto. Get them interested in crypto, and I think that's pretty cool. And you can see rewards here, and you can imagine that if you're not into crypto and you all of a sudden download a browser, and then you see, oh, I have a few hundred BAT tokens, you're naturally going to become inquisitive, and you're going to figure out how you can withdraw that and how you can use it or how you can convert it to fiat. I think it's a really interesting ecosystem and a really unique way to reward people for providing content, especially during something like what we're going through now, like a pandemic. I mean, a lot of people are sitting at home with not much else to do other than watch stuff online, and it's a token of appreciation that you could watch ads, and then whatever your earnings are from those ads, you could then tip the creators that you enjoy watching the most. So also make sure you check out this page. It's the transparency page, so you can see which countries are supported in the project. You can see the growth of the number of people that are verified on the platform to receive tokens. So almost 300,000 YouTube people. And also, you can also follow along the number of purchases initiated by the Brave team. So again, this has not been paid for by anyone. I'm not promoting a referral link here. I would like to get a couple. I would like to see maybe a chat room open up where I can talk with people more about this that's specific to the Brave browser. I know there's a Reddit. Haven't really been able to find a Telegram channel for it. Let me know if it exists. But with any, regardless, at least check out the channel that I have, Into the Cryptoverse. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below, if you want to discuss this and maybe how you can set it up and how you can become verified and start receiving tips for viewing ads. Or I shouldn't say tips for viewing ads, getting paid to view ads, because your time is valuable and it's worth something. If you're just using a typical browser, then you're not getting paid to do that unless you have some, say, like extension or something. But more or less, you're not getting paid. And in fact, a lot of times they're just taking your data and selling it to third parties. So this basically offers a timely alternative. And you can imagine with another speculative crypto bubble, the Brave browser could really take off much more than it already has, which is already showing really good growth. So again, subscribe to the channel, check out the Telegram channel, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.